all as well on this lovely Tuesday evening. And forgive me, I have my throat about here. So we're a minute early. I forgot to put up the beauty tab. I wait for people for something to announce, so I'll wait for that now.
Lovely.
We have one person here. Hello, Myers. How are you doing? Sorry, I was having my few my battles there. My apologies. Hello, Kevin Wildlife. How are you doing? Hope all's well. Forgive me, I was eating a few of my battles. My apologies. So just getting it. My apologies. What am I doing? How am I doing? I'm doing well, thank you. Kevin Wildlife. What am I doing? I was just eating my bowels. My apologies. So it caught me midway through to eat my bowels. My apologies about that. So yeah, I'm finished with my bowels. Sorry, I meant to eat them before. It's true. Sorry about that. Meant to eat them before the stream. So yeah, just gobbling them down. So yeah, it's quite fun. Hope all's well. Oh yes, but I to be totally honest, I know it sounds like a conspiracy 2.0, but I think it wasn't deliberate. To be totally honest, I think it was just a big thing because, as you know, the Oscars. A lot of people have not watched the Oscars in years and years and years. Let's put it this way: it's not as popular as they used to be. People are just sick of them. All these celebrities talk, which to be totally honest. So I think it's kind of just kind of bringing more, trying to get more attention to the Oscars. To be totally honest, because it didn't seem like it would be legitimate. To be totally honest, if that makes sense. Hello, I'm gaming, but maybe that's just me. It doesn't seem. It doesn't seem real. Like if that was me and somebody, I think it was Paddy's wife or something like that, I would literally go, full at him. No, not really, but you just wouldn't just give somebody a smack. You would go in for the kid. You go in for the kid. Let's put it that way. But yeah, it doesn't seem. It seems like it was all kind of perfectly timed, and that's why I said. To me, it does. Like if that was like, take for example, where if that was you or me done that, the security, to be honest, in 2 seconds we'd be literally jumped by 50 cops or 60 security guards. So it doesn't seem like, obviously some security guard would have stopped somebody if somebody went up to hit him. You know, because obviously that's against the law, hitting somebody, assault. So yeah. But it was done. So I think it was a stage kind of effect to kind of promote it. Because again, look at the amount of attention it's getting to the Oscars. And I knew the Oscars were going on, but many people said they didn't even know what was going on. That's how irrelevant it is in modern society. Like when I was growing up, people knew about it and were watching and things like that. People don't really give a shit about it anymore, which is good because who wants to listen to a pile of celebrities talk rubbish? You know, that's just the way I see it. It did make them more excited. Yeah, but that was what I'm saying. I remember last year, but I think it was done last year. It was very little talk about last year. I think only got 1 million people watching it. There used to be millions and millions watching each night. But that's how relevant it is nowadays. But the thing is, in about an hour of that happened, or actually a few hours of that happened, I remember seeing a video on Twitter. And in a few hours, I think it was only about 4 hours, 5 hours, it got 26 million views. 26 million. Think about all that. 26 million views in about 4 to 5 hours. That's on one Twitter account. Imagine on YouTube, if you added all that on YouTube, all the YouTube views and the videos. If you add all the Facebook views, Instagram, you have quite a lot of people. You a good lot of million, like 26 million is more than the whole country in the Republic of Ireland, and more than many countries across Europe. And that's how many people. Basically, whole countries have seen that. I knew that the Oscars were going on more than any other year. If that makes any sense. So, but I think it's just maybe I'm just conspiracy theory, but that's just what I think. I did Jesus Christ, very specific, but no, I didn't. Very specific. Why is my thing linking? My T is linking a bit. But yeah, that's just my opinion. What does people think about it? A lot of people do think that it was genuine or whatever. But I don't think so. I don't think so. Maybe I'm just not seeing it. But what does everybody think here? What do you think? Because looking at it, because again, I looked at it a few times, the video. I keep keeping myself fat. But I looked at it a few times, the video, and it kind of didn't seem real, to be totally honest. If somebody smacked me on the face, if I was presenting something, let's be honest, you wouldn't just go on with the show, You probably would hit the person back, or most likely walk off, and you wouldn't just stand there and just say all that, especially everybody, especially when loads of people watching do that, you wouldn't just continue on with the show, but I don't know, maybe I'm just a conspiracy to it. I didn't see that bit, but it was way escorted. But he got some big award, the fellow that smacked him. The fellow that smacked the person on stage got some big award later on, so I don't I don't know. Again, that's just me. That's just what I observed, I suppose. I could be entirely wrong. I'm not saying I'm white. I could be wrong. Hello, Gaz. How you doing? Not much. Anything with you. How are you doing? Hope all's well. Hope you're enjoying your Tuesday. But yeah, that's just what I take. So don't. I'm not white. So I might not be white. That's just what I seen on the video. Yeah, it makes sense. Oh yes, but she won't go live. Yes, I have to do a whack on that tonight. She wouldn't go live because let's be honest, it's going to be a train wreck anyway. Anything to do with number 40 always ends up in the train wreck. Like you think she'd go on live to say what she's going to do, but she's not. She's running away. She's hiding in a pre-recorded thing. Because she'd be asked how. Like, let's be honest, it's going to be a train wreck. Everything number 40 does always ends up in a train wreck. Like you could ask her, what weather? What's the weather outside? And her looking out the window, and she'd tell you fuck all. Like literally, it could be snowing, and you literally ask her a simple question: is it snowing? And she would literally go on a big tangent talking about some big fucking fancy words that make no sense. Just make no sense whatsoever. And then if you asked her what time it was, like somebody should ask her what time it is. Because she literally wouldn't answer you. She'd go and tell you something that you didn't want to know. This is normal 45. Hello, Emilia. How are you doing? A paper supply, a paper pasta. Paper what? Paper pasta. I never mentioned I did a paper pasta with my beans. What do you mean? No, I just chose not to get vaccinated. Again, it's my choice at the end of the day. It's my choice. It's not, you know. And again, I'm not around many people. So, I'm not a risk to anybody, quite literally. It'd be different if I had people around me. I have nobody around me to. So, you have to take it in that way. But yeah, I understand people might be not pleased with that, but you know, I'm just using my constitutional right and um, the pepper a lad who's prepared to end. What do you mean? I'm like me getting vaccinated is not going to change where the end to be told as because I'm not around anybody. Like what even when I was walking, sorry, I just think of my head. Like I wasn't around anybody. Very little of the time I was on my own majority of the time. So I'm not a danger to anybody. But what I'm more likely to die from, and even my doctor said it, I'm more likely to die from diseases from dog shit. I'm picking up dog shit. You can get wingworm and things like that, which would literally kill you straight away. If you like again, if you get it, you're just dead. There's nothing that can be done to save you. If you get any of that, just kill you straight out. There's no such thing as a vaccine for it or anything like that. So I'm more likely to die from that than I'm from COVID because I'm doing it every day. So you're more likely to get something for that. But yeah, Ireland has a constitution. Every country has a constitution. Where every sane country, but even though the constitution's there, let's put it this way. Sorry, I just think about it. Even though the constitution's there whenever people choose to use it, it's not there. Let's put it this way. It's there when they want it. Let's put it that way. But yeah, let's not talk about all vaccines and things. I don't want to turn into the debate about this and all that. You know, don't want to turn into the debate about this. I hate these bloody two spots here. These two spots here. But yeah, anything else? There's 6 people here. Hello. Hope all is well, everybody. If you have any questions or anything, any queries or anything, please feel free to ask. Please feel free. Where's the UFO guy? I'm assuming he's probably busy. Totally answer. Haven't been talked to for the last few days. Be totally answer. Hello, Dawa. How are you doing? What's this on? I don't understand you. What? Don't get your point. What did you say? I don't understand you. Far Cry 6 tonight. First of all, I don't have it on the PS4. I have it on the Xbox, which I can't record. I don't know how to record it on Xbox One. Disrespected. You mean the video? Well, Alan was being disrespected by the Ukrainian person. Obviously, look at the amount of things that Alan has done for Ukraine. Obviously, a bit of respect at the end of the day is appreciated, But yeah. But yeah, that's the point. That's the point, Fisher. I don't know how to set it up YouTube on the Xbox One. That's the thing. So we look into that at some stage, anyway. Excuse me, apologies. Use a GoPro. What is a GoPro in his home? So yeah, I'm a bit out of touch with reality. Hello, Skyler. How are you doing? Hope all's well. The camera? What camera? This camera, you mean? With 7 likes, thank you, Evan. I appreciate it. So anything else? Anything else? Not this one. Yeah, but I wouldn't know anything about it, but else. But we see at some stage, I see. What time? I woke up pretty early. I'm waking up a good bit earlier now, which is good. I think it was around. What time was it? Before 9 o'clock. So I would say it was around 8:55 or something like 8:50. I say, which is good. Because I'm back at work next week, which is good. So we see how we go. It might be a bit later on in the night. We'll be live from like around this time. But we see how we go. I work with people. What games? I only have to play Hearts 5 and 4. Hearts of 5 and 4. Don't go back to work. Oh no, I'm going to go back. I want to go back. I hate having to sit here and do nothing. Hello, Global Man. I can't comment on that, to be truthful. I can't comment. I have no comment on it, unfortunately. That's okay. I have no comment. You can have something else to ask. I can't comment on that. That's a win. What hours? What hours to walk? It's just you start at 8 and you walk to 4. So basically, really school hours. Like I used to go get in the bus at 8 o'clock, be in the school, and then you'd be back at 4 o'clock. Even though you could, so like on a Friday, it's half 3 you're back from your job. No, I don't think that'd be allowed. To be totally honest, I don't think it would be allowed. I don't. I hardly that it would be allowed. Maybe some things, maybe, but I don't think it would be allowed. Uh, don't think it would be. Maybe it could be. I don't know. I actually don't know what it actually. But I'd assume it'd be okay. Some things to be okay. Sometimes it wouldn't be okay. Like if you win the buildings of the castle, but if you're out in the road cleaning stuff, don't think they could really do much to say much. If that makes any sense. Hello, Nick. How you doing? No, but they probably would find out because they know who I am and all that. They know about this channel and things like that. No, I don't think I would. I don't think I would, to be totally honest. I don't think it would go to that, let's. I don't think it would go that heads. But again, this is the thing, you never know. Usually people say, oh, I wouldn't do this and that, but you never know what could happen when if, like you say, that situation, Mad Max situation. Um, you never know. Again, you never know. Human minds think very differently when things like that happen. You know, it's when it's different nowadays. Like for example, in the modern age, we're not many people not struggling, like not eating each other to survive or anything like that. But it's different when if that situation ever, God forbid, it ever came to that Mad Max situation or something like that. It's different. The human mind only thinks about surviving. That's the only thing the human mind would think about then. It's not about buying a new car thing. The human mind will instantly change. Just I need to survive. So it's different to say. But I don't think I would. I think I would just rather die to be totally honest. Because it'd be different. I don't really have much to look for. Let's be honest. So it'd be different. Other people probably would. But nah. I wouldn't be that fucked. I wouldn't be that fucked if I lived to die. I'd probably be dead before that. I don't know, way before if there was Mad Max situation. But yeah, that's just the way I see it. But again, it's different. You can't just say what could happen because again, you have to be in this situation to see what you would do. Totally understand. Hello, Daniels. What's the story with the lockdown? With the National Public Health Emergency took an effort to talking about was restrictions. I'm assuming public transport and schools and things like that. But hopefully that doesn't come in. Because it's up to people to decide from yourself. I don't think it won't be out of food completely. Obviously, it'll be some kind of food. There'll be still bits of food, but it won't be. It's probably as much food. Maybe that's the one. But there always will be. The world still has. There is still a lot of food. It's not that there's not enough food being produced and things like that. There's a lot of food being produced. It's the world has enough to feed itself. It does have enough. To feed itself. it does. Like I've seen studies about it and things that it has enough food to feed everybody in the planet. And that might sound crazy, but it actually does. The world actually has an abundance of food and resources, particularly again potatoes, things like that. They have an abundance of that, more than other things. You like you never run out of potatoes, and because potatoes grow really anywhere. And particularly again, it's not much, but it used to keep people going to the famine, and things like that. Yeah, well, it's always easy. Like I could go out there and probably grow in the land because again, you can grow anywhere potatoes really in the grand scheme, especially the wet weather helps it to grow potatoes. And obviously too, people can do a small garden out the back, with a few vegetables. They keep you going. They keep you going. It wouldn't be, but it keep you give you energy, give you strength. But obviously, there's only a certain amount of food. Like take this type of junk food and things like that. There's only a certain amount of resources, but you wouldn't ever run out of them kind of stuff. That makes any sense. But I wouldn't worry about the miles in it. I say Tony's probably. I don't know. I'd say he's probably be here soon. God knows where Tony is at the moment. But yeah, I wouldn't worry about the miles. Everything will work out the way. Uh, but if you can, I would advise you. If you are worried about that, think about getting a small garden at the foot or something that you could grow a few tomatoes or something like that. Or different fruits it is. Oh my Jesus Christ, that's a lot of writing. Hello, Mister Internet Guy. That's a lot of writing. Jesus Christ, that's a lot. Uh, what? I don't know what to say about that. To be totally honest, again, but I hope you're keeping well. Hope you're having a good Tuesday. But uh, I don't know what to say about that, so I make no comment on that. That's okay. But yeah, I hope you're keeping well. But yeah, but grow whatever you can, and obviously grow a small bit at the foot too. So it's no harm to have a small garden at the foot or at the back. Just a few things, not much. Like, not talking about having a big industrial garden at the back. A few tomatoes, a few things like cabbage or things. Bit of cabbage, like that's even what my father grows a bit of cabbage at the back and a few things. Enough to keep him going. Again, it's healthy stuff. It's healthy stuff. It keeps him going, gives him strength, and gives him things. Even though he gets food to the shop and things like that, but obviously he likes a small garden too. And it's good too to be self sufficient. Obviously, if you had a job in the morning too, the employer always likes you to take your initiative. If that makes any sense. That's one thing our employers like. Take the initiative, and obviously take the initiative, things like that. And cows too. I don't know does he have cows, but yeah, I don't know. Too much water. I don't know much about growing the potato anything. Like here where I live, there's not really much space to grow a garden to be totally honest. But if I do, I could ask my father how to do it. And we could have one up by the next week. If I wanted to at any stage. But I probably will at some stage ask him how he does it. Like he showed me when I was younger, but I forget really now how to do it. Like if I still stayed and tried to learn it a bit, I probably would have. Hello, say Simon. I'm surprised you haven't prepared. Well, there is food. Like again, I do have a small bit of food. If that's what you're talking about. Sorry, I can't hear myself think. Um, is there allotment? No, there isn't allotment. But would you believe in the school that when I was a part of the Green Schools in Beverly College, when I was going, we had an allotment. We have a big allotment where they can grow vegetables and things like that. So that was good. So only before I left, well, the time when I was going, I was just going. The grant was granted by Cavan County Council to grant. So people in school, people in the Green Schools in Beverly College can learn how to grow food in the allotment. Isn't that great? But obviously I can't be there to learn myself too. But isn't that great that we got it? Um, that we got an allotment at the back of the school. So they can grow the vegetables, big greenhouse and things like that. So isn't that great? But we don't have an allotment here. There's people who obviously here grow their own things, but there's no such thing as a community allotment or something like that. I have separate washers and dryers. What's here the same? Okay, I toured UK places and did second in one, two in one. I have 5,000 jars at Weiss pasta. Jesus Christ, you have a lot of stuff here. But yeah, I know people are probably talking about famines and things like that. But not necessarily. Not necessarily. As far as I can see, it's not coming really. But yeah, obviously there's a shortage of some stuff. But there'd be abundance of if you knew how to grow stuff. As I say, there'll still be stuff to keep you alive. In other words, there'd be a lack of stuff on the shelves. But obviously you can make stuff. When I'm talking about making stuff, your vegetables out the garden. That'll keep you going, even though it wouldn't completely fill you, give you the energy to go. Yeah, there always will be food. I know there's enough food in the world at the moment. Maybe I'm just being off on a different planet, but yeah, that's just the way I see it at the moment. But obviously, we do here. We do have 2 weeks worth of food at any stage. Um, Geez, I know. I'm not talking about it will be any. Like there will be obviously food if you have gardens and things like that. There will be food. I hope you're not right, but I don't think that'll be the case as far as I can see. Maybe I could be wrong, so don't. Hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully I'm right, and hopefully that is a wrong prediction. But if you know what I'm saying, hopefully not. Yes. But yeah, there always will be abundance of food. There's the food you can get, and obviously animals and things like that, if you need to go with it. And then obviously there's loads of berries too. Like there's around here too. There's a lot of berries and strawberries and things that are growing on trees, which it wouldn't fill you, but it's a lot. It will give you a good bit of strength, and they give you something. So that all won't be gone overnight. If that makes sense. Like nature gives you a lot of food. Nature gives you a lot. Like let's be fair. No, they actually have. Because I know there's a person down here that's absolutely just knows everything about the environment, and they have good. They know where the good berries are. And they told us where the good berries are if people want them. Not in the winter. Oh yeah, I understand not in winter, but there's other things you can do. Nature does give you other things in winter too. Like as I say, animals and things like that. You can hunt the animals and things like that. There's an abundance of stuff too. Nature always gives, provides. Um, maybe I'm just being hypocritical or whatever. But yeah, that's just the way I see it. Hello, Mark. Sorry. Putting out the bins. Good man. Elderberries. I don't know. I say there probably is somewhere in Cavan. But not to my knowledge. I think it's just raspberries and things like that on trees. Around here. As far as I know. Maybe the other side of Cavan there probably is. I say somewhere in Cavan there probably is somewhere. But I wouldn't be too concerned about it. What was the seaman? No Sandman. Yeah, sorry. I wouldn't be too concerned about it. At the moment. What time are we at? Half 9. So yeah, anything else? No. Where we going? So anything else? Because I quite literally have nothing else now. I went on a tangent for about an hour now and I didn't know what. Well, not an hour, but I spoke for a good few minutes about different things. No, I've not to say. So it's not great. Yeah. Is the chat broken? It could be broken. My apologies. Sorry, let me just refresh. Chat is hidden. No, we don't want that. So yeah, if you're in the chat at the moment, just please let me know just to make sure it's not banjoed. Thank you, Aaron. Do you know any farmers they could be held fertilizer through 120? Yeah, I know a good few farmers on here. Yeah, they're not too happy at the moment. That's what I meant. Yeah, fertilizer nearly worth much. As Mikey Healy said, if you had the choice of going in and robbing a bank or robbing fertilizer, you go and rob the fertilizer because it's actually worth more than it's in the bank. Yeah, that's me.
After years of deliberation, today, finally, a plan for reform of senior cycle education. At its core, a move away from the current approach, using mostly written exams to assess knowledge acquired, to one that measures skills too, through other forms of assessment, spaced throughout the year. I have taken the widest spectrum of advice and experience from other jurisdictions. I have also engaged with business, which I think is very important. I've met many companies internationally, Irish-based companies, who speak of the necessity of our students having skills where they're not just knowledge-based, but they have an application. That's what's informing our reform of senior cycle. Controversially, the new plan also envisages teachers assessing their own students as part of the Leaving Certificate process.
There are positive aspects to the Minister's announcement, but right off we can...
All subject curriculums are to be overhauled and 2 new subjects introduced: climate action and sustainable development, and drama, film and theatre studies. These big changes will be introduced gradually. They'll be trialled first in a small number of pilot schools from 2024 before being rolled out more generally, but some changes will be more immediate. For example, current second and most third-year students will sit paper 1 exams in English and in Irish a year earlier at the end of 5th year instead of 6th. Emma Oak.
Okay, that's fair enough. I'm happy enough for that. That's good. The Leave It to Junior Sub reform. It seems good enough. I give Norma Foley that, even though it's not Norma Foley that's too much to do. It's because everybody hates her. But hello, Even. How are you doing? You can afford. Yeah, but I'm saying too is you can nature provides for yourself, innit? Like you don't need the farmer for everything. But I know what you mean. Obviously we need the farmers and things like that. But I wouldn't worry. Like I wouldn't be all worried about farmers and things like that. No, I'll get that. Where is the house for these? Yeah, I know. I understand what you mean. Yeah, the nature was there in 1845. Yeah, but there's a lot. Obviously, Ireland depends a lot more on potatoes, but there's loads of things you can do too. Nature provides them. Hello, Ashton. But yeah, I know what you're saying, of course. But there's loads of things nature can. But there's loads of abundance of different things too. Animals and things that you can hunt, things that. You know. But I know what you're saying. But Ireland was quite different back in the day. We wouldn't. Irish people weren't that knowledgeable of what they could do, what they could eat, and what that. Back in the day, basically the only thing they had was potatoes. That's the only thing they had. It's different now. It's different. Like it was only late. Like even I know people who grow vegetables in the backyard and things like that. Their families when they were probably in the 1800s probably didn't even know what vegetables were in the backyard. If that makes any sense. Like it was only like even my father said his father used to grow a bit in the background. They had who have more, but not in the 1845. Like we have more technology. If that makes any sense, we have more advancements in terms and obviously things like that. And obviously too, you can look up a video online on how to plant the garden in a week or two, or how to look for food in the wild or whatever. Survivalist trend, things like that. Like take for example too, there's a lot of animals that are in abundance in Ireland, and if you kill them, obviously that sounds terrible, but if you kill them and obviously fry them and things like that, you'll be fine. Because yeah, the you know, for whole life. But yeah, but I hope not. Hope it won't be famine or things like that. But there is enough food. I still stay in my point that there is enough food in the world to feed everyone. Um, but yeah, it might be more difficult to get the food, to access the food, but there's enough food in the world. That's what I'm saying. Maybe I'm just being stubborn or whatever, but that's just the way I see it and what I'm locked into now. So. But obviously there's an issue, obviously. I will admit that. But too, just saying about the Great Famine, it kind of wasn't really a famine to say the least. You know, you kind of was. There was enough wheat. Take for example, there was enough wheat in the country. Only for the British kept exporting it out of the country. So you know, it technically was a genocide more than a famine. Because the wheat was still being exported to other countries as part of the empire, the British Empire. So technically, you know, there was kind of food, but the British were taking it. If that makes sense. Will you get the PS5 in the future? Possibly, maybe. People nowadays couldn't survive on their wits. You know, but this is the thing where, so just to say, the human mind, as soon as the human mind is pressurized, and I learned this too by studying the mind and things like that, you know, your mind instantly thinks about survival. Like in any situation, take for example, somebody comes at you with a knife. Instantly your mind kicks into mode. So I need to survive, I need to survive, I need to fight. You know, your mind kicks into that. You know, your mind instantly kicks into that. That's the way your mind sees it. Like it's the same with anything. If you're somebody coming at you with a gun, you know, you instantly take, I need to survive. I need to, that's the one thing that's on your mind. And especially too, if you're in a situation like that, say some catastrophe happened, or the food died or whatever, you need to be, or whatever, or the crops died or whatever. You'd be like straight away, I need to survive, I need to take it away, and you use your mind, and your mind take the one thing that'll be on your mind is not taking about a new car, new house, or anything like that. You'll be like, I need to survive. That's your main priority. That's what your mind will be taking in your mind. I need to survive. I need to find a way. And you know, this is what happens. They're gonna, yeah, but during the Great Famine too, a lot of food was being exported. Like wheat, for example, was exported. A lot of wheat was exported out of Ireland. So you know, it could have been avoided. The famine, in other words, could have been avoided. If the British wanted to do something too, they could have avoided it. But they just chose really just to let the Irish peasants die. If that makes any sense. So because again, they had choice to do something. It was the biggest empire in the world. That abundance of wealth to help the Irish, but they just decided not to. Yeah, it's different. I know what to say nowadays, but you know, but back then it was you know, exporting wheat things like that country. Hello, Connor. How are you doing? It was technically so. I suppose you could say. Sorry, but the luck of the Irish. Yeah, but it's still. Yeah, but just briefly, just say one more thing. Just bear with me 1 second. Sorry, my throat's getting a bit dry now from talking. You know, the Irish people still survive. You know, even though we were basically genocide. Again, I use the word very wisely, but you know, we still survived. The Irish people are still here. We're still here. You know, we adapted. We adapted. People that were in the island adapted to live in. I think that obviously people left to go to America, make a life in America, and look at the impact the Irish people had in America. You know, the Irish people, even small country had and a big country, in development. Like even look at New York or Boston. The amount of Irish police, Irish families in police in the NYPD, in the New York City Fire Department. Look at all that, and all the skyscrapers in America, all really built by Irish labour. So you know, Ireland had a huge impact in the world too. So they look at that too, and they made a huge, you know, Irish people made a huge living for themselves in America. So, you know, but you know, we always found a way of surviving. You know, we always found a way. And also, I mean, the mind always thinks about surviving. You know, finding a way of surviving. Sorry, I meant to say hello to Paddy. Sorry. Make the beer on top. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, but they still exported stuff out of Ireland to the British. If that makes any sense. What do we do with a drunken sailor? What do we do with a drunken sailor? Not at all. The Irish all died or got exploited. We decided from replacement people. What? Who? Not all. They all died. Hang on. Decent from replacing people. Don't quite understand, but okay. Um. Uh. Ooh, what have I done? Sorry. You hit something. What have I done? Breaking my computer for a second. Hello, Celtic Kevin. How are you doing? We're fake Irish. What? As long as they always we bounce back. Yeah, of course. We will always bounce back. Of course. Um. They always. I'm doing well, thank you. Hope you're keeping well. Becoming as long as that doesn't happen, in the end. I have to be careful what I say, but which is this now? What is this? I seen your video about the Ukrainian president on that wall in Lockwood. Now I don't know who done that now, but don't know. Talk about neutrality. Talk about faith on one side, but I don't know. What can you say? Hello, Bitman. I got it. No notifications. Got no notifications. Well, here, Bitman. I could send you a private telegram in the post. How about that? They tell you I'm going live. I'll be there next month. But yeah. But I don't know what you mean by with the fake Irish now, Paddy. I get what you're saying there. Maybe I'm just not reading into it enough. Sometimes I don't do that, just to read into it. Good idea. See what in the month's time? Okay, send that out. Get in the month's time. Isn't it great? Great country. They will tell you that. But yeah, did I put up that video earlier on? Just sorry, bear with me. Who's emailing me now? Oh yes, I forgot. So yeah, I just actually remembered it. It takes me an hour to remember something I was going to say about in the beginning of the stream. Isn't it great? I'm just great. I have to look for this now. So basically, we're doing something for God has a plan. Everything always works out if you pray and you have hope. Everything will work out. Like I know it sounds all doom and gloom at the moment. But things will work out. Things will work out the way God will look after us as long as we're good Christians and things like that. And we'll help each other on. That's the main thing. That was the man above has a plan. Exactly. But yeah, what I was going to say. So basically, for Project Reference and for Calvin Day, we want to do this, and we done it kind of last year. We done it, and we didn't even ask people to do it, but we done it anyway last year. When I put up tweets on Twitter, particularly, and people give set messages of Calvin Day. No, it's not upon us yet. It's every day is a Calvin Day. But take for example, we watch stories, basically good stories for people, good stories of people from Cavan. Like take for example, you are from County Leitrim. Take for example, and a Cavan person used to live, down the road or whatever, and he done different things. So we watch stories basically of people from Cavan. So we just need a name. What would we call the project? If that makes any sense. No weapons form against me. What? Yeah, well, where was God? Well, here, anyway. A lot of Irish people did believe in, like, a lot of Irish people, obviously Galway was a lot more of a Celtic country back then. But a lot of people did believe in God. And a lot of immigrants, too, that went over to America, too. They prayed to God that, to get a good life in America and things like that. So, the faith was still very strong, and still after that was very strong. But yeah, I understand what you're saying, but it wasn't. It was evil people who were running an empire that basically starved the Irish people. It was God had done to do it, but God made them suffer in the end. The British Empire. But if that makes any sense. But yeah. It was even but yeah, that's what I mean. The people of the British Empire, Queen Victoria, the monarch, and obviously the British establishment, the government, they were the biggest empire in the world. Remember that. They had an abundance of wealth to help anybody if they wanted. And Queen Victoria donated so much money. There was, I think, it was the Sultan and the Ottoman Empire donated more money than Queen Victoria. to the Irish people back at the time. God multiplies his food in the past. He do it again. We pray for faith. Yeah, of course, 100%. I agree with you, 100%. So I wouldn't worry about famine and things. I wouldn't worry. God has a plan, so don't worry. As long as you pray and you hope and you have hope and you know all that, it'll all work out. Please, don't worry about it, all that stuff. It will all work out. Believe me. You can still play the So it's good. Yeah, Mark. Geez, everybody's asking me about 50 million questions. Calm down for 1 second. God, but okay, but reflective. What? Hello, Assassin. Sorry, everything's happening at once. Everybody's here talking to me once. Contest when Ukraine until then. We'll be back. Okay, no bother. Thank you, Assassin, for stopping by. We'll probably be gone at 10. Yes. But yeah, sorry, there's so much at the moment, just trying to speak very quickly to try and get through them, because I end up missing somebody. I probably missed somebody already, my apologies. Bear with me, where am I? I think I read through all of them, sorry. Where am I? Many Irish, hello, Albergo, how are you doing? Not necessarily, not as stereotypical as probably many people have a drink, obviously. But not in the pub constantly, if that makes any sense. But they have a few drinks, if that makes sense. They wouldn't have abundance. I don't see people falling down the streets every day of the week, if that makes any sense. Which to the needy. To the needy, I mean, I wouldn't trust Alan to give money to the needy. To the people in need. Yeah, well, I suppose we just have to have faith, I suppose, that they're doing it, the good faith. But yeah, I don't know about good faith now, but the government, but anyway. I'm downloading the PS5 on 20 minutes left. Well, it's not much of a difference. You won't find much of a difference. You know, the answer Mark, it looks like. 20 likes. Jesus Christ, everybody's here. Every Tom, Dick and Harry's in the country today. But yeah, I know we're kind of what's doom and gloom. I know a lot of people say this is all doom and gloom that we're talking about. But, the government never had. Yeah, but I'm saying, but we can believe, we can try and trust that they do. But yeah, in our minds. But obviously that's not true, and you and I both know that. But we hope that they do it in some in some sets of good faith. Some, and I use the word some, but we all know they won't do it. But we can pray that they might do some good sometimes. If that makes any sense. We used to say a prayer in the morning too when I was at school. We used to pray in the morning, obviously, for a productive day and things like that when I was in national school. And then obviously at lunchtime, the 2 lunchtimes, we said the prayer blessing the food, blessing God, to thank God to give us the food. At home time, we prayed. I know it was assembly, bear with me, I jumped over myself, the assembly, so we had the assembly every Friday. And we prayed, that obviously that our leaders will make the right decisions and things like that, and will help people in need, and we thank God for being alive and things like that at assembly. We used to pray before assembly. So yeah, but looking back on it now, we're wishing the leaders will care for people and help people. The world leaders, and I think it was national leaders we said too. But imagine saying that now, looking back at that, you're like, oh, did we have to mention that? Because they went off and made a mockery of us, the TDs and senators. But yeah, but we did that. But you can only hope that they do something in good faith. But yeah. We can only pray and hope that they do. Yeah. Some churches are good. Never give to the church, which we never give what to the church. There's some priests like this. Obviously, the Vatican. First of all, I will say the Vatican should help out a bit more. Let's be fair. They do have an abundance of wealth in the Vatican, and they shouldn't live in luxury. To be totally honest, the people, the church can help people. Obviously, there's good priests out there. No good priests. Brother Kevin in Dublin, he helps the homeless. They help a lot of people. They help a lot of people. But the people in the Vatican should help a bit more. Like, they have an abundance of wealth over there. They should help more. Instead of caring for themselves. But yeah, there's good lot of priests. Again, there's not, obviously wish they would do more with the church. To help more people out. Because in one parish here, I say this, but one parish here, down, not this part of Cavan, but another part, more or less looking for donations for him to have an upgrade to his parochial house. Imagine coming out with that, looking for upgrades to his house, and for the parish to pay for his house, basically to be refurbished. And there's people in his parish that's struggling to survive, struggling to send their children to school. And the cheek of him to come out with that, and him with a brand new cow and things like that. So you have to ask questions about that. But yes, blessed the food today, blessed the hands that made the food, blessed is the God of men. That's exactly it, yeah, Henry, that's exactly it. Yeah, you remind me now, that's exactly it. That's what we said at lunchtime, the 2 lunchtimes. And then at the end of the school day, we prayed to God to help let us get home safely, and I can't remember exact, but I remember saying the prayer and things, but I can't remember exact words of it. And obviously the assemblies too, and in the morning too. But yeah, no 5-star general. How are you? Do you hate people tossing condoms as they seem by? Well, they don't toss them at me. I never came across anybody that tossed them at me anyway, like that. But I'm sure anybody would hate it if anybody. I'm sure if it happened to you, like it never happened to me. Nobody ever tossed anything at me. Like they toss things at me, obviously threw other things like water bottles and things like that. Somebody threw a brick at me once, but yeah. Well, it wasn't technically, it was a stone kind of. It wasn't really a brick, but it was a stone kind of. But yeah. They don't really. As far as I know, I never came across anybody throwing a condom at me. As far as I know. But yeah, I'm sure you would agree. No, it's not a nice thing to do to anybody. I'm sure you would agree. You know. Kind of like if you're sure, like But yeah, I hope you don't, Sky. I hope you don't, because it's not a nice thing to do. Regardless of the fine that you will get for doing it. Because this is a big enough fine if you've done it a few times. 150 euro, 150 euro, and 150. But just the only thing I say to people is, and the only thing I say is just have respect for people. Have respect for your things. Do just have a bit of respect and a bit of manners. If you do things like that, look upon yourself and say, is this the person that what I want to do? Yeah, I do agree. Yeah, I know. Most priests do a good work, Johnny, but there's one or two of them that that could do a bit more to help people. And they shouldn't be more self-centered, if that makes sense. That's just my opinion. But I knew priests, yeah, they were good. I know sisters and nuns, they're good people. 2 more parish and sick people. Yeah, but it is hard. It is difficult. It's seeing people, and obviously seeing sick people, seeing elderly people. In nursing homes and hospital beds, and seeing people on the way out basically in the last few days out. Like even the priest that came to my grandmother. Obviously my grandmother knew his mother, and when he knew his mother, but again, he was there for a lot. He was picky because my grandmother knew his mother, and his mother passed away, and obviously they were good friends from school. But he was there for a lot, and I do have a lot of respect for that priest. He was there. Christmas again, she died Christmas morning, when the snow coming down and everything. Very, very peaceful death. But yeah, he was there Christmas morning for and all that when she was passing away, giving her the last rites, and I do respect that. It was not easy now. I give him credit, and and the same priest. I tell you this, and I have a lot of respect for him, but he done his own mother's funeral too, and that was very, very difficult. Like he done it himself. He done his own mother's funeral himself. So you can imagine how difficult that was, to stand in front of everybody and to do his own mother's funeral. That's. I'm sure you would agree. I wouldn't want to do that. So you have to have massive willpower to do it. But there's a few priests that just there for the gravy train and just taking the pieces out. But there's good priests. Like I met his sister once, and she serves in other countries and helps the poor in other countries and goes on missions and things like that. And she's a nice nun. I know her a lot. Sister Rita, she was called. I had her for my confirmation too. His sister was helping out during my confirmation. She's a very nice woman, and again, an elderly woman. She's very over 70 something, I think. But yeah, she was nice, very nice sister to have. Which was more, but yeah, there's some other ones that I wouldn't be too fond of, to be totally honest. But yeah, so like again, I wish there was some. I wish all the priests were good and decent people. But there's one or two that do ruin the whole reputation of priests and things like that. But they do have a hard job. I'm not going to lie to you, Shawnee. I wouldn't want to do what they have to do. It's not easy. No, it's not easy. I'm sure you'd agree. It's not. It's not nice. War. Not a nice thing they have to do. But yeah. Yeah, but I know it's very, very sad. Yeah, it was very sad. But it was very peaceful. My grandmother's passing, which was good. And he said, even the priest that was there, he said it was the most peaceful death he's seen. In like years and years and years. The snow falling down blissfully outside the window. Very peaceful that. Wasn't in any pain, just very peaceful. And very quick. Yeah, forgiveness. Again, God is an endless forgiver. That's what we all have to understand. That He's an endless forgiver. That He forgives everybody for everybody's sins. If you ask for forgiveness, that's the thing. If you ask for forgiveness and you pray to God for forgiveness, He's an endless forgiver. I don't know about serious things, but He's an endless forgiver. For things like, again, you can always be forgiven. For things, but again, it's when you show that you want to be forgiven and you want to apologize and say sorry. I can't handle that well at all. I don't think anybody can. People probably I know people would have a strong, would put out a strong image, but at the end of the day, they'd be very broken. Anybody would be broken if they lost somebody close. Even if you lost your dog, you still would be broken. Very upset about it. Anybody would be. It takes a very strong person not to be upset about something. Upset about the death. Like it's human nature. It's everybody's nature, you would get upset. You wouldn't be human if you didn't show a bit of upset. If your grandmother or your grandfather or your mother died, you wouldn't be human. You wouldn't be human if you didn't cry or didn't get upset or, hide yourself away from the world for a few days. That's just emotions. Everybody has that, and there'd be something very wrong if you didn't show that. And, I understand that. It is difficult. I experienced that a good lot, and it's not, I wouldn't wish it really on anybody. It's very upsetting. Well, I hope not, Paul. I hope not. But I'm not going to look at it. I don't want them to get in any trouble on it. But it's better, just as I say to him, please don't do that, okay? You don't want anybody to get into trouble. Because it's only causing trouble for yourself, and I don't want to be bringing you up to court or anything like that, or for a little fine or anything like that, so please don't do that. Small bit of matters, just please, if that's okay. I don't want to be causing anybody any trouble. And sure, look, it benefits nobody. At the end of the day, no benefit to you or me, I'm just out doing my job, and that's basically it, Let's be fair. But yeah, if you're determined to get a headshot, then we have to speak about a few things then. If you are serious about it, we have to speak about a few things then. Because it's not a nice thing to do, and obviously it's an offence. It gets the 1970 Litter Offences Against the Litter Pollution Act. And 150 € fine. So, please refrain from doing it. And that's my instruction to you. So please do. Because I'm giving you every opportunity now to not really do anything with them. Hello, Alan. How are you doing? Who's out of town? I hope you're keeping well. Hello, Game Etc. How are you doing? Sorry that I had to leave. I don't know where you hear the other morning. But sorry that I had to leave the other night. I was going to bed. So, my apologies that I left abruptly. What's wrong with my computer? We just talking about rubbish. And not like just kind of rubbish. We're talking about different things. We're talking about Christianity and things like that. We're just talking about many different things. Long story. But yeah, we talked about many different things. How's the St. Patrick's Day? How was your St. Patrick's Day? Yeah, it was okay. Yeah, just we can put on my earphones then. We'll probably only go live for another few. We'll probably only live for another few minutes. What time are we at? 10 o'clock. Still bright outside to be done. It's not that dark. So anything else? I know it was a long conversation we had a few minutes ago. Different things. Okay, as soon as I put on my earphones, he's ending the live. Excuse me, ending the live stream. What? Please refrain from using that line. But anyway. But yeah. I would suggest again. I know you're probably trolling a bit, but it's not nice to be even talking about that kind of stuff. So please refrain if you don't mind. If you could. Throw bags of rubbish and St. Patrick's Day. Good people yourself. Throw bags. So yeah, because there will be a lot for St. Patrick's Day. You know, a lot of things, people, takeaways, things like that. Obviously, same probably happened. Same happened St. Patrick's Day, but also, yeah. Well, but St. Patrick's Day, all that weekend was a lot of stuff. But yeah. But there is something going through the houses, the Oireachtas at the moment. Just actually, as I was speaking, it's going through the Shannon. And it's a bill to do with Liga Dublin and things, and obviously it's going to bring more enforcement and obviously drones. The councils will have the ability to have drones up to catch people littering and things like that. It'd be basically war on littering now. And obviously then too, they are talking about another bit to the bill where they're going to make people the council wear cameras and things like that, because members of the council have been abused and things like that. So yeah, it's gonna be something because I don't want to have to wear a big lump of a camera on the chest. To do again, it depends who passes through the houses. The walkers obviously private pedestrians and things like that. But they seem hellbound on bringing in drone surveillance and things like that. But I know that sounds very surveillance, yeah. But it's kind of do with Liga Dublin on rural areas and things like that. And it's kind of the only way it can be done. And obviously cameras too, to allow more cameras to be used and things like that in the fight with Liga Dublin. So that's good. But I know it might be a bit of a privacy issue with some things. But we need to kind of do something about it to us. But yeah, I don't even think about it. I don't even want to wear a camera whenever the time goes. But it probably won't come to it. It probably won't bring that bit in. But that's it. It will be because you see the gals with the cameras, that big, huge cameras. Face masks. Now, I used to get a lot. I was talking about this actually the other day. There used to be a lot more face masks back last year or 2 years ago. Nowadays, there's one or two every once in a while. Not as much. Before that, was many masks. But not as much, which is good. But yeah, probably soon. But people probably wearing them more often now. They buy more. But yeah, we wait and see. But there's not as much thankfully as it was with. Excuse me, my apologies. Yawning a bit. But yeah. 25, like Jesus Christ, we've been turning into a big live stream now. We're getting more than the bigger live streams on YouTube now. Soon or later, we have 59,000 people watching us soon. About 1 million likes. That's great. All the ad revenue for that. I'm only joking. But yeah, who's here at the moment? So everyone here we have Wales Gaming Central obviously here at the moment. So who do we have? Let it be known who's here at the moment. I'm not even going to respond to that video then, but I asked you to please refrain. Let's talk about something more pleasant. Makes any sense. Pleasant or something better. So please do. Please refrain. We go for another. We go to 15 minutes, 1 hour and 15 minutes. Sure, we go for another, and then I go out for a little pound up. A little pound up. I don't think there's anything else I need to do tonight. Any video wise, like I'm thinking video wise, I have a few videos I need to actually upload. Yeah, I put one out earlier on, which was good. Got one out finally earlier on. Anything else? Don't think there's anything else, is there? I don't know. So yeah, oh yeah, I just actually have to remember that. Yes, sir. Just lucky I remember that. I didn't even actually write that down. Yeah. So wait 2 seconds. Sorry, I have a few things I need to ask. So yeah, just in the 7 people here. So I have something to ask in a second. I need everybody's opinion, kind of. Just bear with me 2 seconds. So yeah, so 6 people at the moment. So yeah, so what do you think we should call the project? For Cavan, we asked people for stories, positive stories of County Cavan. So people will be able to send us in stories. Take for example, as I said, somebody from County Leitrim, the new neighbour that was originally from Cavan, that used to had a good talent or something. Used to play the guitar, used to play great guitar stories and things like that. So we're looking for stories for Cavan Day, coming up to Cavan Day, and obviously we'll put them into a folder and we present them to people and we read through them, and they can like be a Cavan story time. But we're looking for a good catchy name for it, so we can encourage people to do it. So what does people think? No, but seriously, Beth, I was going to call you Bethany. How about I call you Bethany for now instead of Bitman? Bethany Park, Bitman. But yeah, just what does everybody think? 5 people here, so please, I would like a bit of feedback, please, if that's okay. Just let me know what you think. What would be a catchy thing? So try and enlighten us with what we think. We work. The waste management section, the which I do orange really. Generally it's orange that I wear. The rest of them wear yellow. But yeah, what does everybody think? Like seriously, I know we could call it Cabin Story Time or something like that. But what does everybody think? You're doing super. Yeah, thank you, Ash. But yeah, what does everybody think about? What a good catchy name, something that would people be like, yeah. And to be saying, I actually should write a bit of a email because we want to kind of get through email format, and we'd be able to put on a piece of paper, and we'd be able to read it out in Cavan Day, saying, oh, this person remembers. They often say in America, take for example, we can get somebody from America, and they were like, I knew a Cavan person that used to work with me, and he was from this place in Cavan, and he used to do this, and his family originated from this town. And we used to work together. We had great fun together. We've done this, we've done that, and good memories, positive memories. And it would be nice. So what do people think? Because again, we don't know what we will call it. Because again, it's another section of Project Bethany. The Cavan Confessions. What? We're not going to turn into confession boxes now. But yeah, no, something catchy. I know. I'm sorry, I'm denouncing kind of names, but something catchy, something different, something kind of catchy. Slice of cake. You're going to bake it. I already had a cup of tea. I don't know about cake now. I don't know why you say the cake, but Cavan After Dark. Jesus, that sounds like a whole mash more than anything else. That doesn't sound too nice. But no, something. Well, I don't know about After Dark, but I don't know. But something to do with stories, something that represents good stories, good positive stories. Because that's what we want. Bethany back stories. I don't know. Something maybe Bethany. I don't know about backstories, but that's the thing. I don't know would that be catchy, but any backstories. Something similar. Again, people would know more. Cavan's assistant vice treasurer, the vice president of Cavan, man. Promoting Cavan anyway. Yeah. We care, Cavan. I don't know, but I'm trying to get something that people be like straight away. That's that's very catchy, and we might send in something. Like again, I'm saying to people too, if anybody's here to have a good story about a Cavan person or even something, a good memory of being in Cavan, it would be good. Physically speaking, I wouldn't pick up trash on the street even for a salary. Oh, I understand, Joey. I understand what you mean. I know some people, it's just not their thing, and I understand that. I don't expect people to go out and lift everything on the street. I don't expect that. That's what you obviously have council workers and pay your taxes for. But I would encourage you obviously to do a small bit for your community now and again. As you probably do. I'm assuming like a small bit. Like I'm not saying about picking litter, for example, but just keeping your small, like take for example your house, outside the front of the house a bit tidy. Do a small bit. Again, I understand even for I know people that wouldn't do it. And obviously respect that, because again, that's what you pay me, the tax. That's what the taxpayer pays me and other people do. 1 second. I went to Mars, actually. Hello, Tony. Sorry. It's all about immigration. What? Do you feel bad by your experience of? You feel that it's very pointless at the end of the day. It's pointless throwing something at me again, especially that it doesn't really achieve anything. It's a very mean thing to throw something at somebody. Um, you know, um, if that makes any sense. That's the way I see it. And obviously, somebody shouldn't do it in the first place. You shouldn't do it to anyone in the street. Even the person that's doing community service, like if someone was convicted of a crime, you shouldn't even do it to that person. It's not nice to do it. I'm sure you would agree it's not nice, Jerry, for somebody. Like, even if, take for example, just put yourself in that state, you're walking in the street, you have a nice suit on or something like that, and somebody just throws something at you, and just walks off, and you're just there, and you're like, what was the point in that? You have to ask yourself that. Just ask yourself that, and story with Kevin Ted Dance. No, we're looking for a catchy name. What would be a catchy name? Well, does anybody still have a catchy name? So please keep taking, because my brain's hasn't got the capacity to take up a good name. So please, it could give me some kind of name. Um, uh, One stage, everybody has kind of done it, to be totally honest, at one stage. But yeah, we won't. But just don't do it again, Miles. Okay, just have a small bit of courtesy for for people. Actually have to the people have to clean up after and things. And think about the environment. Think about the environmental risk and things like that. So to just take I would encourage you, if you can learn one thing from me, have a small bit of respect, please. It gets you a long way through life. Let's be honest, it will get you a long way through life. Just having a small bit of courtesy and a small bit of respect will get you a long. Yeah, Global Man wants to say. Who abuse you by crap parking? No, well, I'm not a traffic warden, so nobody's ever annoyed me by parking the car. I think maybe once or twice, maybe I gift out to somebody for parking the car. Well, not really gift out, but basically just said, can you please move in a bit off the footpath? I think one stage to do that, but I'm not a traffic warden, so it wouldn't really annoy me. I think the only one stage I ever gift out. Well, not gift out, I wouldn't say, but I just asked the person, would the police move off the footpath? If that makes any sense. Can you talk about the Calvin Town story? Which Calvin Town story? Yeah, I understand that, but please, that's what the such things have been, Miles. If that makes any sense. If you can loan one thing for me, can you please, can you give tickets? Give tickets for what? For little one. Well, I used to be able to do that. I can't really do it now. I have to look for authorization. It's different again now than what it was. Nowadays, you have to look for authorization things. You have to get a pass by basically the higher ups. It's a different kind of system. But I can't give traffic tickets or anything like that. Before that, you basically take their names and things like that. You can still take their names, but obviously the council have to issue it. GTA 5 today. Prepare to watch your stream of playing it. Well, it might be a while before we play it again, but we'll see. Can you reinstate who? Can. But yeah, it's kind of a different system. You have to request somebody to find different system, which kind of is better to be done in the system is now. But it'll probably be more reformed after this thing's passed to the Senate. What? Well, what is all this about? All this cracking? I don't get this stuff at all. If you don't know that. But yeah, it's still in the feds. It's still in the feds to throw anything at anyway, or even throw it out. It's still in the feds. If that's what you're asking. And obviously, be even more of a feds when this thing's passed through the House of the Workers. So it'd be pretty more serious. I think it'd be actually increased on the fines. I think the Trump had a good bit of increase. Make tea. We already did make tea, but we won't be live for much longer. We'll go in a few minutes' time. We might just go for now and Tony. We're going to 10:30 and then we go. How many years are you? 6 years. We're not Cavan Town. What the Bridgeside Dance? 6 years. 6 years. Probably say it's 7 years now, isn't it? Yeah, 7 years. Did you ever get much? Yeah, I got GTA 5 when GTA 5 was released. I got hat and things I shouldn't have before. Do a later stream. I don't think I will Tony tonight. But anyway, I'll be back at work next week and we don't know what be the story then. But see, why is level 5 trending in Ireland? Don't say people who want a level 5. Hello, Gary. Gary Spice, is that what's in? This and Tally Towns, yeah, thank you so much. That means a lot. Thank you so much. That's really, really nice of you. That's level 5. No, sorry, I don't know why it's trending on Twitter. So it's just trending on the Twitter. I just thought I'd mention it. But yeah, that's very, very nice. That's very, truly nice. That's actually a nice thing to hold today. So thank you so much. I actually appreciate that so much. Thank you. How many black bags do you feel? It depends. As I said to you many times, it depends. It just really just depends on what's. It depends on what's happened. You know, some days it's less than others. You know, it depends on the person that goes along the road. Is there a river in Cavan? There's hundreds of thousands of rivers in Cavan. There's 365 lakes in County Cavan, and then there's obviously more rivers and streams, and it's just ridiculous amount of water. Hello, Gaza. How are you? I knife anyone who throws rubbish at me. Well, that's obviously not the right thing to do. Obviously, first of all, just to say, I know it's not nice. I know some people would be very ticked with it, and obviously you should be. If somebody throwing something at you, not supposed, it's not a nice thing to do. First of all, I'm sure you would agree. But the best thing to do is obviously get the license plate things. Obviously, report them into the local authority, whatever local authority it is. So report them even to the Gals. Again, it's actually in the feds too. Actually, criminal feds too. The non-lethal offence is against the Persons Act, isn't it? Throwing something at somebody. It is in the feds. Actually, yeah, it actually is in the feds. Yeah, I actually just remember that. Throw even anything at somebody's actually in the feds. Under the non-fatal act or whatever it is. Yeah. So it actually isn't the criminal offence now. Yeah. I actually remember that there now. And what's the biggest Loch Sheelan to be the biggest? Loch Sheen's the biggest lake. What's the worst experience? Yeah, there's been loads of worst experiences. Like as I said before, cleaning up. You had to lift up dead animals. It's not a nice thing to do. Cleaning up puke before, and even the dog shit thing. Like again, there's many things you could say. But yeah, there's no many experiences. Yeah, there's many experiences. Like there's not only one. There's loads. But ponds. Yeah, there's a good few ponds. It'll be like there's one outside Tratton Motors down in Cavan Town beside August there. I can't think of the name of it, but it's a pond. That's kind of a pond. There's nobody aware if it's a pond. What about you're talking about the story I was talking about, was Loch Sheelan or Loch Ramo, was in Virginia. Is that what you're on about, Aaron? Ireland is an island. Yes, it is an island. I mean, I nearly the same amount of times, only for 2 years longer than. Good man, Ashley. Aaron, sorry, Ashley, no, Aaron, sorry. My apologies. But I never seen it happen to me. But obviously, I don't know why people, because people obviously must be watching me or something like that. Because I'd never been hit with any, and I'm sure that would be a very serious thing to do. Because there was somebody else hitting the couch before what's up, and that person got a very big fine in the post. He got very hard. He got a very bad thing. Because it's in the feds. It is in the feds. Only actually remember that it's not loan the council feds for littlemen. It's actually criminal feds. You can be brought to court for it. Well, you can be brought to court for littlemen, but yeah. So my advice is not to do it. It's not a good thing to do. It's not a nice thing, but I don't know why you keep going on, but anyway. First of all, Because I never seen it happen. I usually see the people in the toilet something on me. Like once or twice I've seen people do it and I could point them out, but I never bothered to go after them. So yeah. So yeah, just to show you, because I don't want people getting in trouble. No, people have enough things to be doing in life without me going annoying people. So yeah, I'm sure you would agree. It's the best thing to do. In the toilets, yeah, like as I said before, there's loads in the toilets and things. So I don't pass through. Again, you just kind of get up and get on with it. You don't have to. There's very little you can do. Complain, you just do it, and that's the end of it. Get it done, and that's the end of it. Yeah, but why are you here, first of all, Skylar, if you're here to do this kind of thing? Why are you here? What are you trying to gain by telling me, I suppose? That's what I'm trying to ask you. Because obviously you know it's not a nice thing, and I don't know why you're trying to more or less say to me what I don't know what you want out of it, or what you're trying to gain. If you don't mind me asking. Because it's not a nice thing to do. I'm sure you wouldn't mind, I wouldn't like it if I done that to you. You have to look at it two ways. Look at the two ways. Obviously I have not seen you doing it. You don't answer. Agent Freddy, what? It's lies. And it wasn't my birthday. What are you talking about? It's not nice, but I'm sure you're probably just trolling on her. I don't think you would do it. I would hope you're not, Anna. I hope you have a bit of respect and a bit of manners. But anyway, as I said, whenever this act brought in, there'd literally be war with people doing this. What I mean by war is to have very harsh punishments. That's what I mean. Because they are talking about huge punishments for people littering and things like that. They're talking about huge punishments. Which is only about time, but it's huge punishment. 150 fine for littering is not much, no. Yeah, I have to pick up a lot of dogs. I'm a dog one for the Budget for times. I'm the only actually one that does in the whole county. Picks up the dog. Are you doing so busy? Yeah, I'm always busy. There's always things to be done. It's a very busy walk. It's not again, especially I'm the only one in the waste section. The rest of them do sweeping the things. I'm on the waste section. Which means obviously dog shit and picking up litter. There's only one. That's only one of the whole waste section. That's me. I hope you wash check out been in the road. Well, sometimes it doesn't be dirty. It doesn't be dirty, and it's not like usually I keep it clean enough. But sometimes it's got to be dirty, regardless of what you do. But yeah, it's not really a type of job you can keep yourself. A government worker is highly paid. Yeah, other people are. I get 350 a week. Obviously, there's other people that work with me get 650 a week. I don't know why, but it doesn't matter. I'm not really too bothered with the money. But yeah, I'm not really bothered. If I totally answer, I could go and whinge about it, but I'm not going to whinge about it. You just kind of get up and get on with it and do your work, and that's the end of it. That's the way I see it. But yeah, majority are. But yeah, what can you do? 5G would distract people and vines. Oh, you were driving a car today, Mark, so I missed that. I'm proud of you. Thank you, Miles. What do you mean, Simon? What do you mean? I don't know why you keep bringing up this fight about condoms and things. I don't know why you keep bringing it up. But yeah, I don't know. Again, as I was saying with the cameras things, they probably will make me aware of cameras or something. The same with everybody in the local area. iPhone tracks people. I don't know about that now, but we'll go for another 5 minutes and then we call it quits for tonight. A few videos to upload, and I'll say later on. At the top of that, looking at remember there, I don't know why I just remember. But sorry, I choked for a second. Any idea what we could call any idea what we can call the story thing about Urban Carbon? Any ideas, Bitcoin, Mark, anybody have ideas? about what we can call it. Get a body cam for your back. Well, I don't think that we actually. Well, there actually is body cam. Yeah, I've seen people with body cams in the back. Yeah, but I don't know. Like usually, some people should have the balls to do it right in front of your face instead of doing it in the back. That's kind of a slide thing to do. You know. First of all, it's disrespectful, but you know, obviously they should have the balls to do it to your face. Thank you, Joey. I appreciate. Thank you so much for that very nice comment you left there, everyone. I really do appreciate it. I wish there was more people like you in the world. There was, but thank you so much. I really do appreciate. That really made my day. So thank you so much. I talk to you later. I hope you have a good night. Or good evening wherever you are. Thank you so much. Do you know that many people in Cavan has boys that have autism? Yeah, one of my friends has autism, and I have a bit of autism too. Only a bit. I don't have much of it. More dyslexic than anything else. But yeah, at least you know, because it's kind of very cowardly to do it at the back. Let's be honest, it's very cowardly. You know, they're doing it when it's like I often have people throw things at the back, throwing things out when they go past you. They throw it out, but they don't have the balls to do it to your face, and they do because you know obviously I could point them out if I knew the license plate and things like that, and obviously get them fined and things like that. But it's very cowardly. I'm sure you would agree. Nobody has the balls to do it in front of you, and you know the very cowardly people, and they wouldn't really stand up to any resistance if you put up any resistance against them. You know, I'm sure you agree. But I hope you, yeah, but throwing it to you behind you is not a nice thing to do. But I hope we don't have to do it. But I don't know why people keep asking me people throwing things at me. Like, it's such a thing, such a big thing for some people. I totally answer. Yeah, well, an orange, yeah, the orange is for the waste management. But what's funny about that, Victoria? Would you like if I done that to you? We have to ask the question, Victoria. Like, it's not nice. I'm sure you would agree. It's not nice to do to anybody. You know, even as the man on the street. You know, you have a small bit of respect for society. Yeah, well, some Russian diplomats expelled from Ireland at the moment. So yeah, but we all know that it's Chinese and spies here and things like that. Like there was one in the House of Commons from England, and there was there for years and years and years. Nobody ever noticed. How many people? Not many. Very little. I think there's only 30 of us at most. Yeah, well they do. Big companies usually do. It's unfortunate, but yeah, that's the modern world, unfortunately. People just see profit. Big companies particularly see profit. They don't see people as basically people. They see them as profit. What more money they can get out of them. That makes sense, which is wrong, you know. Because again, I'm sure these people who work for Amazon are doing, they're working hard. They're not sitting down and doing nothing. They're working hard to earn the money. And, you know, it's only right that they get a small bit of courtesy. Because again, Amazon's making millions and millions. Like as we speak now, people are buying hundreds of things on Amazon, and it's giving them millions and millions and millions of euro every hour. So you know, it's only right they give it to the people too that are working and making sure it keeps going. Amazon, you know, and the same with any other company, Facebook and Twitter, and the same now. All these employees. Yeah, huge shout out to Alan. Hope Alan's keeping well. And all the work he does in Ashbourne, tidy towns. But yeah, we went for a bit extra. I didn't think we would go that long, but I was speaking about different things and saw for too long about different things. But yeah, that's the crack in the country. So yeah, we'll go for another 5 minutes and then. So if anything you need to ask in the next 5 minutes, please do. I'm trying to decide what story. There's loads of stories I can tell you. But what story particularly you're looking for? Oh, you're talking about what I'm talking about. Are you talking about the name of the thing I'm trying to get? So yeah, if you have a name for the Project Breffney, well, it's Project Breffney the main thing, but it's a side kind of name. On what we could do to get people more involved and obviously get stories about people that maybe moved to different counties or different places. And obviously stories about people from Cavan that, you know, stories that you can tell. So yeah, any name for we could. Yeah, are we friends? Are we friends? Everybody's friends, Mark. Everybody's friends here. Everybody's friends. Don't go to, yeah, here Tony, I have to go. Yeah, I have to go in a few minutes time. I have things to do. Anyway, I need to rest a bit more anyway this weekend because I'll be back at work next week. So, yeah, we need to rest. And obviously next week we don't know what the story is. We'll wait and see what's the story I don't know what you mean now. Is that a stamina? Do you have a stamina? Look, no, I'm not that. I have a bit of autism, but not much. If that's what you're asking. It's more dyslexia that kills me more than anything else. No, we're not meeting you halfway, Tony. Again, as you know, we have work and things the tax bill has to come first. Do stamina. What is that? Is that you mean stammer? Is that what you mean? Sorry, I just looked it up so I know what I'm talking about. I'm probably not reading it right. Sorry, I'm terrible at reading these jokes. Well, hope not. To show the answer, hope not. Hope not. Storyful. What's this? Sorry, just bear with me one second. Not, I don't think so. No, I don't think so. As far as what I read there, I don't think so. But yeah, I actually like that, Shawnee. Yeah, I actually like that Storyful. Captain Storyful. Captain Storyful. How does that sound? I actually like it. It actually piqued my interest. Yeah, I actually like it. Davey was although Davey probably in bed. Yeah, he said he was going to bed earlier on. Yeah. But yeah, Calvin Storyful. How does that sound? Give me feedback. Surely that's actually, I actually think we should actually go for that one. I actually think that's good. Unless somebody else can come up with a better photograph. We have fight now in the chat about who's going to get the name of this thing. But yeah, so we get a subsection of Project Breffney, and obviously we'll be announcing something else probably in 2 weeks. Next week or the week after that, we'll be announcing different things. We've been pushing the barrel out a bit more. Obviously, because when I go back to work, it'll be more income and we can work more. I waited 4 hours. I'm sorry, Tony, but yeah, I said it was very unlikely. But yeah. Oh, what's my friend's name? He's called out. He's out and he has a YouTube channel. I'm Brady. Yeah. Perfectly so. Yeah, either of them two names are very good. What does people think? Do you think that's good? Do you think that somebody straight away be like, actually, that's very good. I want to actually send in my story. Of this person from down the road who used to be from Cap. Or something. It's kind of two just thinking of the good times and something for people just to look back on and see the impact that Calvin people had in different parts of the country and even in different parts of the world. If we can get people from like during Calvin Day last year, somebody from the Philippines reached out to me and said a story about somebody who was from Calvin Town who used to work with him in the Philippines. And there was hundreds of stories like that. People said, I knew somebody who was from County Cavan and from America. It was so much. It was literally so much. I done a whole video on it. And it was literally all of my Twitter feed. And I think everybody in the country was following me on Twitter was just like, please stop. They couldn't see anything else but Cavan Day on Twitter that day. We just literally took over everything for the last 2 times. Literally nothing else was able to be seen on Twitter, only apart from this Cavan Day, that. And me talking about different stories and things like that. So yeah. Calvin's story fell through the ages. Jesus, we have to get you as the main leader of this program, Johnny. I actually think, yeah, Jesus, we nearly have to actually get you employed in this project. Yeah, because it obviously will require a good bit of work too to set it up and things like that. Because obviously we have an email account. We obviously want people to send us an email first of all, saying what's the story and things like that. And then we're going to put them out and put them into a little, what do you call these? This kind of yoke. And obviously we read them out on Cavendish. What's a prize? I want the prize. Well, of course, yeah, Shawnee, we can give you a prize. What would you like? What would you like if I can give it to you? If you have an Xbox or something, I can give you something. I can give you something, of course, but I need to know what do you use. I will be probably be the end of the week, but we see what do you use and we see what we can give you. Spit on you? Not to my knowledge, no. Not to my knowledge. But yeah, that's in the feds too. But I think we'll go with that. Calvin Storyfield through the edges. Yeah, I think we'll go. But if you want something, Shawnee, we can try and give you something. We can see what we can give you. I know, of course, I'm the Tom, but if you want something, we can send you PayPal or something like that. We can give you some bit of gosh for yourself. Bit of gosh. No, but I can. If you have do you have PayPal? You can send if you have Twitter or something, you can send me your link to your PayPal and I send it to you. Of course, I send you a few bob. It might not be much, but it's a small thank you. I think it's actually only right that they give you some small thing. I think that's the least I can do. I suppose it's better to give something to somebody because again you have to think of it as well. No, I have no problem giving it. I have the money there to give it to you. To give a bit to you. It's a small thank you, so you can buy a pint or something on me. You get off very late. You must be connected. What? Connected to who? What are you trying to say? What do you mean very lightly now? Because that sounds very threatful. It's not that I'm very powerful. The law is the law. The law is enforced in this county. I don't know what you think about people spitting. They're more or less trying to encourage people to be totally onto the stage. This is my friend. Yeah, my friend here has awesome. Yeah. There's other people I know who have awesome. But yeah, Shawnee, you can tell me. My Twitter, or you can send to me on my Facebook page, and I send you a bit of money for it. It's entirely up to you, but I would rather actually give you something. I say again, it won't be much, but it's a small thank you. How does that sound? If enough to buy you a pint and a bit of something to eat. On me, on the jacket, on Adrian Logan for the way. Isn't that great? How does that sound? Because I think it's actually only right. They give you something. Instead of having people do things for nothing. So Shawnee, now's your time to shine. Actually, I probably should open the Twitter. Yeah, well, I know we'll look way down on, but I don't really give it. I just kind of continue on with my day, and that's the end of it. You have a job to do, and the taxpayer pays you to do it, so you better go and do it. I don't know what you're trying to assume, DT. I don't know what you're trying to make little of me, to be totally honest at this stage. No, God, no, I can afford to pay you. Jeez, there's enough money there for it. There's enough money, have money there already, but yeah, can I at least send you 50 euro? How about that? There's not much, but still 50 euro. How about that? I send it on PayPal if you have PayPal. Because it's the only thing I actually have to send money. How does that sound? You can get yourself a meal. How about that? Or a takeaway or something on me. And make sure you put it in the bin, but yeah, no, I want to give you something now. No, I feel determined. I actually have to write down. I forgot actually what she said. I mean, so up in the head. Yeah, so Calvin still we filled through the ages. I actually think we'll go with that. I just write that down. I have to tell the moderators about this. But please do, please accept the 50 euros as a small token of appreciation. If I can send it to you in some way. That's the question. How will I send it to you? You can get yourself something. Because I think it's only right, if you totally honest, we give you something. Because again, we wouldn't have come up with it. We spent an hour there trying to come up with something for it. And we never did. Which shows us this. We done. Well, it's not really a prize I wanted, but we were just kind of giving it because he came up with the name there. We did a giveaway last week. We won here. The person had to be here at the moment. There's a lack of respect you get on the road. Let you down. No, we'll just continue on. You have to just continue on. The taxpayer doesn't pay you to stand there and talk about it and do anything. You have a job to do. At the end of the day, I used to just whinge about it and things like that, but you just get up and get on with it. That's only that. Obviously it annoys you. Obviously, of course, it annoys you. For now and again, it gets you. But at the end of the day, you're doing your job. It's an honest day's work. It's an honest dollar. That's all that matters. That's all that matters. I'm sure you would agree. That's the only thing that matters. Now, you're doing your bit for your county. That's the end of it. But yeah, I don't know why all this to do with roads and things like that. Everybody seems like they want to attack me to the end of the day. Just the way people are phrasing things. But yeah, Shawnee, here, send me an email. How about that? Do you have an email? Because I actually do want to send you a small bit, just a small thank you. And of course, I don't think that we don't have the money or anything for Project Breath. We have a good bit there. We have a good bit there now. What are you assuming, Mr. The guy? What are you assuming? I don't know. I hardly doubt it's that high, but yeah, that sounds very, very suspicious. Like, if you don't answer, that's not a question that somebody would usually ask. But what is your point behind it? That's what I'm trying to ask you. What is this big conspiracy behind all this stuff? But as far as I know, very little people I know who committed suicide as a woke, you know. But that doesn't seem like a normal question. I don't know what made you ask that question. That's what I'm trying to figure out. But yeah, Shawnee, are you still here? Let me know, please. Because I do actually want to give you something. Even if it's something small, I just want to give you something. Oh, and I showed the moderators we will do. We want to give something small. Give it something at least. What is this? Who is that? What are you? What are you? Who are you? Stream, Jenny, but I don't want any money. I'm delighted to use the name. Are you sure now? Are you sure now, Shawnee? We make sure we have to write my fucking pen. There it is. Excuse my language. But yeah, we make sure that we give you the reference that you got the name. It wasn't us that came up with this brilliant idea. But are you sure now? You can get yourself a pint in the shop. No, not a pint in the shop. Sorry, a pint in the pub. Yeah. But yeah, we will use that. But thank you so much, Johnny. I appreciate it, and always for being here. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. Thank you. No, I've heard up of what? No. Not technically. We was kind of not really surprised there. I was kind of just because he gave me a name because we're doing a thing for Calvin Day in September, and it's kind of a name for something we're doing. That makes any sense. Well, something else. Something else. We might as well go for 2 hours, then we're near the 2 hour mark, and then I go for my walk. I want to go for the pond in a second now. But yeah, I have to tell the moderator now about that. But if you have an Xbox, do you have an Xbox One, Aaron? How about this? For you, you have an Xbox One? Yeah, but I don't have fully autism, if that makes sense. I have a small bit of autism, but I don't have full autism, if that makes sense. I'm assuming I was born with that. Maybe I'll get on the way. I never really asked. I know I was born with dyslexia. I was just not able to character do things like that. But don't know about autism. I was diagnosed with it when I was 5 or 6. I had a bit of autism, but not diagnosed fully with autism. I only had small bits, symptoms of it, what you could say. And some things, in other words. It's mainly dyslexia. But do you have an Xbox One? I'm ask me that question. Because I have no problem with sending you something on an Xbox One. I'll send you to buy you a game or something. High five, a high five. How can we give you a high five, Mark? You're asking a bit too much there now, Mark. Don't know what you think I am. We can high five somebody from the other side of the screen. I don't know what time and space I can interact with. Do that. But yeah. But yeah, so that'd be the name of the project, Calvin Story for the Ages. Does anybody have any, what's the word? Any stories for it? Anybody have any stories for Calvin? Anybody have for Calvin's story for through the ages? Anybody have any stories? What, Paul? That sounds like an awful thing, but why? What are you trying to prove? That's what I'm asking you. What are you trying to prove by saying that? Because obviously, I'm sure you're trolling, but you come on. But I don't know what you're trying to prove or what you're trying to say. Because obviously it seems like you're very anti something, I know. I do anti-authority or something like that. Did you get Covenant? No, I never got it. But yeah, do you have an Xbox One, Amber? Answer me that. Answer me that. Do you have an Xbox One? I'm a bit born too from the sun. But yeah, no, we're looking for individual stories, not really a story. Like, you say, for example, Mark, you knew somebody down the road, or something that what you works with, or something that you went to school with was originally from Cavan. It was quite crack, and someday you went to the teacher's toilet and put a firecracker in the toilet, or something like that. Something like that. So something funny like that, We're kind of looking for individual stories of somebody that would, maybe, particularly again, no Xbox, oh damn it. You hardly have, what else? You hardly have a PayPal or something like that. You hardly probably do. Oof. What's this? Excuse me, who's this? Oh no. Messages. What is this? Don't know what that is, but no. Who knows? What? But what are you trying to say, DT? Like, you're dilly-dallying all over the place. What are you trying to say briefly? Because you're making really very little sense. You explore the range, thinking about people with the rubbish. What do you mean? Explain. No, but do you have a PayPal? Do you have a PayPal? The most generous man in Ireland. He loves spending money. Oh, I don't know if it's a kip on Captain. I'm sure he wasn't taking the piss with Aaron, with Aaron Gaming stuff. But yeah, please do say, we obviously get it set up. Obviously we have the name now. We set things up and we get things in motion. Yes. So yeah. Yeah. It went longer than I was supposed to anyway, but it doesn't matter. I'm a bit boned now. I can feel my arms are very warm. I know, it was out early while, and it was out for a good while. I've done a good bit of a road now. No, we don't have that. Because I was going to send you money to pay up, but haven't. There's nothing else that I can use that can send you anything. 19 years, I'm just trying to take now. Like, I'm more technocratic now, to be totally honest, than what I used to be. Yeah, but what's the point? I'm trying to figure out what's the point in really telling me about this, I suppose. That's the what's the relevance, I suppose. Because obviously first of all it's illegal and things. Obviously I'm assuming that you're trolling, hopefully. I take it as an assumption. I won't look into it anymore now. Yeah, that's okay. No, that's not really how you get respect. You get respect by being a good citizen and being respectful of the law. You don't get respect by doing that. Nobody I knew that's ever done things like that. And there's people I know who are troublemakers and never got much respect from society, were shunned from society. No, that's okay, Aaron. I understand that's okay. There's nothing else that I can use to send you money on. I was going to give you some money. I don't know how I can send it to you. Sadly slap from Tony. Okay. Very warm. I can feel in my face. I'm very warm. From Tony. Jesus, it's from Tony the end, Tony. But yeah, anything else? Anything else anybody wants to make me aware of? But yeah, so we talk. So if anybody has that, so please be the breakfast room. So most likely, Tony, when I go back to work, most likely will be a breakfast room. So it looks very likely, but again, I say very likely. It could still 50-50. But Paul, that doesn't sound like you're a good citizen, do Tony? Answer you're going to make that up. But what's the relevance? Obviously the two of you must be talking to each other. I don't think that. But what's the relevance in telling me this? That's what I'm trying to figure out, and you won't seem that so. Why? Like, what are you trying to gain, I suppose, by telling something? Because obviously that's, first of all, a horrible thing to say. Even if you're speaking metaphorically or whatever. I don't think it's someone I know from God. But yeah. What? I don't know what to say anymore now. But yeah, if you know anybody that lives beside you and has a story about a cat and post, please send them in. I would appreciate it. I don't know. We'll see how we go next week. We see how we go. I can't promise anything, but I can't say we won't. But usually when I went to work, I was up early in the morning. That's the only way we can do it, early in the morning. Very early, so we're talking about 8 o'clock, 7:30, something like that. Very early. But again, I'm not going to say to people, maybe. I used the word very likely there. Maybe, so I'm saying to people, maybe, it could be. But I would say just wait for the video. It won't be live, but we wait and see. Because again, it's hard to know, we'll be totally honest. It's hard to know. I might be set back. I might not be fit to work next week. We'll wait and see what they say. Phone cover. How will I send you a phone cover? That's the thing. Tinder. Jesus, Tony. Well, I can see about maybe posting your money. Maybe we can see that. I might see that. But is that your address? Is that the right address out? I do. It might be the end of the week, but I see about sending maybe something. But it won't be a phone cover. I send you money. You could probably buy a phone cover with it. But yeah, it seems like it's the only way anyway, Mark. I don't think there's anything else. So see if it says them. So it might be the end of the week. So what day is today? It's Wednesday. Going on Wednesday. So it might only post on Friday. See how I have to get a postal order first. So I need to get to the post office to do that. So I see, but it won't be much. But I send this up now. The least I can do. But it'd be probably enough if you want to buy a phone cover. Sorry, everything cut off though. Yeah, no, would they give me a postal? Yes. See. 53 Ashbourne. I need to just say this way. So 53 Milltown Estate. That's how I'm saying it publicly. But yeah. Are you sure that's your address now? You're right in saying that. Is there an air code? Do you have an air code? I put it down here. You hardly have an air code. But it might be the beginning. I send it probably Friday maybe. So it might be Monday probably when I get out Tuesday. It won't be much now, Alan, but I send you something and you can. He's talking about buying a phone cover or something. Maybe I give you the money and you can buy it, or whatever you want. Because I think it's the least we can do for the work. No, I'm not. I don't have a phone cover myself. If I had a phone cover, I'd give it to him, but I haven't got a phone cover. That I use. I only have one phone cover, which is on my phone. Nah, I know I have a spare phone too. But yeah, do you have an air code? But again, it won't be probably till Monday. It'll be said they'll be given to you. It'll probably at your doorstep. But it is the right address now. I have to have an envelope anyway downstairs. Of the stamp. I need to get a stamp. No, do I have stamps? I have stamps. Yeah. I think speaking of, I think the snap here because I have a box from downstairs. But I think there was one here. There was one here, but God knows where it's on. So it's probably gone to me. Or maybe I used it already. I probably did. I go and get one from downstairs. Yeah, I don't want to be doing that now, Tony. It's not the right thing to do. I'm putting the address into Google. But I say you get there now. It seems like it will get there. There's one for everyone in the audience. Now we kept doing that, but we do that. How about that? We give people Alan that as a small tidy because he does tidy towns work and things like that for Ashbourne, and we give him a small tidy. He can go out and get himself a phone cover. On behalf of the channel, we do that. But we do that. I think it's it's a nice thing to do. It's a nice gesture, I suppose. So we saw that, but again, it'll probably be Friday when I get posted. Because I have to get a post load, and obviously there's no post office here in this village. So I need to go into the town to do that. Where's Bitman? Bitman was here. Yeah, that's right, okay. So missed, I put missed. 53 minutes on this day. Right, okay, so yeah, probably Monday, we see. If we can get it done beforehand, we see. So probably Monday next week. So what day is Monday next week? Or what day is Friday, sorry? Friday is the 1st. I'll probably post on the 1st, so I'll be there on the 4th. Maybe. If we can get it done tomorrow, I'm good. All well and good. Also, the amount of these things I bought one of the days last week. You see, as long as that's the right address now, because Aaron, but it'd be enough to buy a phone cover. Let's put that in. Like, what are you aiming for? You want to buy a phone cover? What are you aiming for? But I say you get a decent enough one with the amount of money you spend. Like it might be because this one was 50. The one I bought, it was not 50, so I was totally something. The phone cover. It was totally something. I can't remember. This one, the other one for my spare phone was a lot cheaper. It was 10 something. Because again, this phone's a bit bigger than that one. That's why I thought it was a bit. I don't know, but I bought it anyway. But I probably won't have a card, but I send a letter. I send a small letter with it. So I'm just fixing them up because I meant to fix them up. So yeah, we do that, but it will probably be a few days anyway before we get around to doing that. Just because there's no post office here, so I get receiver getting a snap tomorrow, but I don't know where it'll get posted because I have to get a postal order, which I have to go to the post office, which just is a nuisance. And obviously that's an extra €5 too. So they're making quite money. And Posta's making desperate great money on me. Like imagine that. Like actually, yeah, because I bought 150 stamps off them, and now I have to use one of them stamps, and then I'm paying for postal, and then we were paying for express posts, posted to prime ministers and things like that across the world. So they're making great bucks out of me on Post. So literally, I'm biggest investor in the country in on Post. Yeah, we have plenty of steps, 150 of them down there. There's not enough of them because we need 214 of them for all the TDs and senators. So we're not well. Let's do that way. So it's quite money being put into it. That alone is going to cost a lot. But yes, it's worthwhile. Big money. What do you mean big money? Pay wise? You mean wage wise? Well, probably not much. Depends. Depends on where you work. In Dublin City Council, you work nights and things like that. I don't work for Dublin City Council, obviously. But if you work the Dublin City Council, obviously get paid for overtime and night time and things like cleaning the streets and things with sweepers and things like that. You probably get a bit more. But yeah, it actually, sorry. 600, I don't know what you count 650. I don't get 600, I don't get 350. I get less. But many other people who clean the streets get it because they're there years and years and years to get 650. Which is quite decent. So basically, that's their take home pay. So they get something like €1,000 a week, tax and things like that, and PSOI on that, X, Y, and Z. So it's decent enough. It's local authority jobs, government jobs. It's decent enough. But if you're on the FOSS scheme, it's a FOSS scheme on social welfare. One by the Department of Social Welfare. Yeah, it's a community based scheme. You get 300. Well, not 300. Sorry, it's actually only, what is it? 300, I think, a week, isn't it? Yeah, but some people won't, it's entirely up to people. It's entirely up to them. I'm not saying you should go out and all that. But yeah, it's an honest work, it's an honest dollar, let's put it that way. Better than drug dealing or something like that. Got a message from fucking who? I could probably, what? But yeah, so I have the envelope for that too. I'll probably get it. I don't know what to have. I think I used up all the envelopes to have. Probably did. I don't know. It's probably something downstairs, maybe. See, there's so much papers fucking lying around here. I don't know what to say what. There's papers under there. There's papers there. There's papers here. There's papers over there. There's papers in here. It's fucking too much papers. That's the problem with this fucking gas. Papers relating to different things. Forgive my language, but it's just ridiculous amount of papers. 350. It's not 300. 350. My code. Yeah. Sorry, just make sure you delete the message in a second anyway. It'd be better to send it to email, but I'll just take it down quickly. Just in case they can't find it, just in case, because some post people are just ridiculous. But yeah, just delete that message if you don't mind knowing. I have it there. I just put it in the bottom, because usually I do it anyway, I always put in their code. Small way of saying thank you on behalf of the channel. I'm sure again, it won't be much. It'd be enough to buy a phone cover. And probably a bit left over for yourself too. So we go for another few minutes. We'll go to 2:10. But yeah, just please delete that message. Actually, no, I know. Actually, I don't know what to. I'd say it's fine. Yeah, isn't it? It is 40-hour week, isn't it? I don't know. Is it like from 8 to 4 in the evening? Isn't it? I don't know. And then on Fridays it's 3:30. So yeah, but yeah, usually the wage, like if I'm there a few years, like I'm there another 5 or 10 years, I probably get 650 a week, which I'm not too bothered. Let's be honest, I wouldn't be bothered. Like I could have went to college. There was people who asked me to want to go to college. I could have got in. I could have got in to college if I wanted to, and into the Department of Environment. So I could have got in higher. I could have went higher if I wanted to. Because it was offered to me that I could go to the department. But I chose not. I chose to stay in County Cavan. So there you go. But yeah, I was offered I could go to college. I was offered from the kind of, I don't know, some kind of scheme, to go in college. But I said no. And somebody else probably got that, which was good. Because I don't really care about progressing in career when very little interest. Even though I was on a golden plate in more than any year, because we had to predict the grades and things like quite literally was on a golden plate. Yeah, I have it. Just make sure you delete it if that's okay, Alan. So other people don't see it. I have it there. Don't worry, I have it there. But it was on a golden plate base, but I decided not to. But I didn't bother to go to the department. Even though they were looking for people for different departments, government. But yeah, that would have been very good money. Thousands up in you a week. 1,000, probably 600 or 700 a week. But the only thing would have been is you've been dubbed. I wouldn't want to be there. And again, I'm not in for the money, so that's the thing. Didn't give a shit. But yeah, that's my life story. But yeah, I had the option. But I didn't take it. Yeah. Too many fucking civil servants up in Dublin standing around doing nothing. I wouldn't want that. But yeah, but I'd say to people, if you were in my position or you're ever fortunate enough to be in my position, take it. I would say. As a school caretaker, that was during the Celtic Tiger years. But yeah, I'm not fucked. Like, you don't see me going up and asking for pay wise. I couldn't give a shit. Quite literally couldn't give a shit. I'm happy enough. I'm working hard. I'm busting myself to do as much as I can. Apart from that, I couldn't give a shit. I don't care. Very little I care. The only thing I care at the moment about is having enough money for Project Bethlehem. And that's the end of the day. I couldn't care less. You're getting too much. Excuse me, that's not much now. Like, you probably misread me. I'm not getting 650, I'm only getting 350. But yeah, it is tough work now. It's I'm very well. That's okay, Alan, yeah. But it's tough work. Like, if you went out and done it in the morning, you probably wouldn't want to do it. To be totally honest with you. Like, you have to be honest, but it'd be tough work now. You're coming across, God knows, picking up dead animals, Don't think you'd be too happy with it. They can put yourself in that shoes. It's it's not easy work. You might think it's easy, but it's not easy. Like, I feel sorry for there was two people I knew in the council. They had to go out to an accident and to clean up after an accident. And it takes me to God I was off. I didn't have to go to it. But yeah, I don't know what they even think about that. What they had to experience there. Like, they have to clean up after the accident. The bits of debris or whatever's off the car. I don't even know what they think about that now. The lack of precision, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't lack of precision. Yeah, I know you wouldn't do it, but yeah, that's what I'm saying. If it's no point saying you get too much because you would only know how hard it is if you done it. I'm not saying, oh, poor me and X, Y, and Z. Couldn't care. Like, you take on me whinging saying, oh, I want more money for doing a job, because everybody wants that. I couldn't care less. I'm happy enough doing it. I'm busting myself doing it. I will admit that. Putting myself into an early grave, but you look at, that's what you have to do. And that's all you have to do. But yeah, that's all you can do. I'm not fucking bothered really with money. Like, you shouldn't really be bothered with it. I have enough to do, me, and that's the grand scheme of things. You should be more worried, like, especially in the civil service, you should be more worried about solving the state instead of solving your back pocket. That's what matters. That's why I don't get on with them in the way that some of them look at them. Yeah, I got it down. No, please don't send it again. You see demons? No, I don't think I see demons, Jerry. I don't see demons as far as I can see, What time are we at? 11 o'clock, Jesus fucking Christ. Excuse me. But yeah, so we go for another to 11:15, so 5 more minutes. So quite literally renting house. I've been talking so long, so that's the thing. But yeah, so he listened to me for 1 second now. It might be the end of the week before it gets ended, so it won't be there tomorrow until that. So please give me time just to get it to the town and get a box out. So give me time. Is that okay? Do you know any technology? Yeah, like the drones would be the only thing. Like the only thing judges, like in my experience of court cases and things like that, it judges what evidence cameras. I've seen one person, I think I told the story before. I've seen somebody be caught by CCTV camera at the bottom of somebody's house. Like you know the way some people have big houses and they have cameras at the gate. Being caught by that, thrown into the ditches, stuff into the ditch. But yeah, more cameras obviously too in ditches and things like that would be helpful. And obviously with this bill going through the Oireachtas, we give the council more power to it. And obviously drones too, the jumper drones. So we can see a lot more and we can surveil a lot more and watch. Particularly, again, the what they use in the spots where there's loads of illegal dumping. And obviously too, so yeah. And obviously too, the talking about what we asked in technology. Like, yeah, you can do different things too. Like, as I say I talked about it before, like on the takeaway bags and things, I can put numbers and we can trace the numbers back to the person. We can find out who it is. And like there's loads of ways. So hopefully this bill, whenever it goes through, we can fight these people and put them and do some damage to get them in the woods. And we can put a stop to this what's going on. Because they got off with it for far too long. They've been doing it for years and years and getting off with it. Like as I said before, there's people coming from fucking God knows Timbuktu to Cavan the Dub. And the same with people going from Cavan. There's been people who went from Cavan to Lockwood, the other side of Lockwood the Dub. And they have a very, very sad life, They have a very, very sad life going in the middle of the night. Going all the way down to Lockwood the Dub. Because again, it's hard when you're in different districts of the councils. It's difficult to get through the courts and things. It's just a load of bollocks to be totally honest. That's the law in this country. Hello, mate. How we doing? It's just a load of bollocks if you ask me. Even though justice should be fair and things like, of course, it's just it's very complicated. It's just very good. Ever in a fist fight? No, never was in a fist fight. Never was. Never probably will be either. Because I always try and de-escalate things. Never try and get into fights and then try and de-escalate it. Whatever it is. That's the best part. De-escalate. Try and calm people down. I'm sure you would agree that's the best thing. It only brings more trouble on yourself too, is after fighting people like that. More liked than the King of Ireland. Geez, I'm not doing that, and I'd say that now. But yeah. Very high praise there, thank you. Appreciate it. 25 likes, Jesus Christ, we're one on the gaff today. We're doing all the gaffs today. Yeah, but just give me a few days to sort that out, if that's okay. Give me a few days. No, people don't respect the questions. People don't respect the question. People expect you do the manliest thing and walking away. And saying, I'm not going to get into a fight, I'm going to walk away. And swallow my pride and do the right thing. And just walk away. That's the manliest thing. I've seen that happen before. People just walked away. Even though the person make laugh at them. They're doing the right thing. It's to stop people from getting hurt. Stop people from being injured. That's the right thing. They swallow their pride in front of everybody. And that's it. Only cowards walk away. But what do you suggest? People fight to the death in the streets. Because if we do that, then we might become an anarchist society. And obviously, I don't know what you do with it. If you it's all right saying it, but if you were there, you probably wouldn't do much. And that's usually what I see in life. People that say things they won't do when they're there. Unless you were Smith, yeah. But like again, some people can just. What I mean to say is too. People can be overcome by anger and do things randomly. But it's better just to swallow your pride to sit there and say nothing, or even you can argue obviously, but not do anything physically. You're obviously entitled to say something to somebody. Yeah, have it all right, have it down. No, but it's not to let somebody beat you up. You just walk away and say, I don't want any part in this. Just walk away. You keep going. I know what you're saying, but that's why we have laws. That's why there's justice systems. Going and beating somebody up achieves nothing. Achieves nothing. It causes pain and suffering for families, for mothers seeing their sons in a hospital bed, or God forbid in the morgue. Causes pain. It don't only affect you and the person that's fighting, it affects the family. It affects the community. Hello, Kristen. How are you doing? Bye. Okay. Thank you for stopping by. Appreciate it. I talk to you later. Thank you. Yeah, take you on. Appreciate it. But yeah, aggression never solves anything. Let's be fair. Yeah, hundreds of times, Mark. Yeah, keep your hands to yourself. Obviously, you do have the right to defend yourself. If somebody hits you, obviously you have the right to defend yourself. But obviously try and de-escalate it without using your fists. Because obviously some people just randomly, I've seen random attacks on TV and things like that. People just randomly went up to somebody punches without warning, just because why not? And obviously you have the right to defend yourself. But at the end of the day, if you can de-escalate a fight or something like that, then you should do it. But it only leads to pain and suffering. Like, you have to think about your mother and your father, God forbid your grandmother, your children, having to see you in a hospital bed, barely able to breathe if you win a fight. Even if you won the fight, you could be still heavily beaten up. And you have to look at your mother has to look down you in the hospital bed and your father, and see you struggling to breathe or whatever the story could be. You have to think about that, because even though you could win, I know, but be a man. At the end of the day, being a man is swallowing your pride. I mean, taking your leave, and saying, that's the end of the day. That's what it is. Like, that's the old way of doing things. And what did it achieve? It only achieved suffering, pain, and suffering on people. And as I say, think about your mother and your father, seeing if you were in a fight, or even in a gala station after being in a fight. Think about that. Just think about that for a second. Don't talk for a second. Just think about that. Think about it in your head. Picture it in your bed. No, but it's not that. Yeah, I know some probably do, but at the end of the day, it's doing the right thing. I don't think, like half of the people that done that wouldn't have done that. And I'm sure girls wouldn't watch you. They'd be bailing you out of a gala station every day of the week. You have to think about that. I don't think they would like being said around the whole town that woman's boyfriend is beating up people at the back of the bar or whatever. You have to think about that. You have to think about, because these things have repercussions. I know, but you're thinking that the whole world can basically be your oyster and you can beat up anybody you want. That's not the way society works. Even though we have a fucking useless justice system, it still can be very fearful, and the reputation can be very fearful. Because I know people who have broke the law and have asked councils and things like that to speak for them to get them a job, and they never got a job. Down the door, they can't get a job. People won't employ them because they were criminal record. So think about that. Because it only brings pain and suffering. That's all it does. No, but I'm not talking about being beaten up and barely able to breathe in the hospital bed with a ventilator down you after being beaten up by somebody. Because again, as one person said to me once, and they were dead right, if you beat up somebody, there'll always be somebody bigger and tougher to beat you up, come after you to beat you up. And then you have to have friends coming after you, and then they have friends. So it's a chain reaction. So think about that. Again, it's the reality. You can say that you could beat people up and things like that, but think about that. Like, you have to think about other things, because it's wider consequences to your actions. Yeah, but if you think like that, you should think about being the right. What's going to happen when you reach them fallen gates? What's going to happen when you die? Are you going to go to heaven or are you going to go to hell? That's what you have to think about. For putting a man into a hospital bed, maybe not able to walk, maybe not able to breathe. You have to think about that, because you might think it's a video game, you can talk to people and nothing will happen to them. But at the end of the day, you see people struggling, in the hospital. Like, if you look at the people who have been bed up in the hospital, end up in the hospital, think about that. You have to think, again, you're not thinking about what I'm trying to say to you. You're just off in your own mind and doing things. Yeah, sure, and God found a dead grey hair. Yeah, but yeah, but it's always better to de-escalate stuff. Let's be fair. I'm sure again, many people would say, it's worthless fighting over things. It only brings pain and suffering. Like, anybody can see that. And at the end of the day, it doesn't achieve anything. It achieves just suffering on families and your whole reputation ruined. Like, the many people I know who broke the law and things like that, are just basically shunned by society, which is the right thing to do. They're shunned by society. Some of them have done awful crimes and they're shunned by society, which is the right thing, and they don't have a job, and which is what they deserve, because they have to think about their actions. Like, some of them, of course, deserve a second chance, but some of them are just hell-bound to breaking the law and making people suffer from breaking into houses and things like that. And look what that's got them. It's got them nothing but bad name everywhere. Did you hear of the murder? What murder is that? Yeah, well, so yeah, but I will say this: police do. Some police do escalate, as you can see. They do escalate it. I will admit that some police do escalate very fiercely. But the job of the police in the end of the day is to put a stop to it, to de-escalate it and stop it from happening, and trying to protect somebody from being hurt and things like that. But some do. Some of them let the anger get away with them. If that makes any sense. The brother killed his brother and attempted to kill his father. Yeah, probably. Yeah, there was a lot of murder suicides in the last few months. Don't know. Yeah, like there's been a lot of murder suicides, but there's one thing I never forget to the day I die. Is that murder suicide in Ballyjim stuff there in Cavan. I still remember sitting here and hearing that news. I still remember hearing it, and it's dreadful. And again, I was thinking of them two guards. The guards walked into that. They had a note on the door. It's a teacher in school in Ballyjim stuff. He killed his wife and he's killed his two children and himself. And to think of the guards walking in on that, and you never be right after seeing that. But yeah, I still think about that to this day. I still remember sitting here and hearing that news. It's still to this day hot to me, the whole answer. That he would do that, and why would he do such a thing to them children, to his children and to his wife? Because that was, to this day I still never forget it. In the end of the day, it was what it caused more pain and suffering than anything. Did Ukraine decline NATO before? What do you mean NATO? Did the decline join NATO before? They probably did. Probably they were offered NATO. When the Soviet Union force collapsed, I say they were probably offered to join NATO. Like the majority of the countries that were in the Soviet Union originally, they joined NATO. Like you see Latvia, Estonia, Lithuania, all part of the Soviet Union. And they opted to join NATO straight away as soon as the countries became independent. And the same with Poland. All wanted to join NATO. Romania, Bulgaria, all communist dictatorships. So they all wanted to join NATO afterwards, but the only place they didn't really, the Belarus stayed with Russia really all that. They never joined the NATO. But they probably were offered because Ukraine never joined any side, they were always neutral, kind of. More than Poland or Lithuania or Latvia, the three Baltic states. So I'm assuming they probably were offered when the Soviet Union force collapsed, would you like to join NATO? Yeah, like you come across a few dead animals, I know. No, again. But I say the war offered them to join NATO. When the Soviet Union force collapsed in the 1992, was it? 1990s. Kind of probably better that they actually didn't join, to be totally honest. Because we World War III at the moment. It was an attack on one is an attack on all. That's the way NATO sees it. I don't know what's the policy of the European Union. Is an attack on one, an attack on all. Is it like if Finland got attacked in the morning, even though Finland probably the Soviet Union didn't have a nice time in 1936 when they forced invaded. No, not 1939. Didn't go very well for them that time. 500,000 Russians died in that conflict in 3 months, and one fellow killed 500. So probably not a good idea to go for electric boogaloo round 2 into Finland. Wouldn't go very well for them, I'm sure. I'm assuming we would say. Electric boogaloo round 2. So yeah, anything else? Actually, yeah, it happened to be many hundreds of times. No, not hundreds of times, but a good few times. Let's put that way. Yeah, well, I used to watch Donald Duck a lot and all that. It used to be fun. It was fun stuff, Tony. Good entertainment. Roadrunner and things like that was good fun. Tom and Jerry and all that was good fun too. What it would be like to be young again. You miss it when you're older, young times. Even though we were a lot more simpler times and a lot more, particularly my childhood was a lot more simpler because again we didn't have the internet or things like that. A lot more simpler, but a lot more understanding and a lot more carefree times. So the wall. Right, we're going for another few minutes. I said I was going, but this time I'm definitely going. I'm definitely going because I have other things to do, and I have to talk. Well, no, have to talk. I'm going to do a few things then. I want to watch a few videos then too. A few videos I need to watch. Anything good on the YouTube for tonight? What's on the box, as they would say? It's almost bedtime. Time for the 9 p.m. chat. Yeah, well, not time for bedtime yet, but I watch a few videos and then maybe hit the road. Hit the road and let the roads be gone. Which what new? It's 355 an hour a week. What do you think you would have been on in 2005? I haven't got a notion. I haven't got a notion. Like it's supposed to be, that's take home pay. I think it's something like it should be 650. Probably take home pay, but I probably pay the tax and all that crack. PSOI and all that crack. So probably I don't know. I don't really look at my payslip. To be honest, I don't look at it. I'm busy fucking doing things. You know, it'd be better to look at my payslip. But yeah. Tax is steep, I suppose, because it doesn't really go to any good to be totally honest. What time was it up at? Is that what you're asking? It was up around before 9 this morning. Up earlier. Yeah, well, I'm trying to get up earlier now because I'll be back to work next week. So yeah, 2 more minutes and then we go. Yeah, but I don't know what the price was until I don't know what age was until that. Life happens when you're not walking. Yeah, but time does kind of fly a bit compared to when I was walking. Which is good, I suppose. It's better than if it wasn't fine. But yeah, any last few minutes. Where's Claire from? Don't know. I haven't seen Claire in a good while. Yeah, it gets the law. It's it's in the feds. It's in the feds of the Cotton. Not only a little fed, first of all, because the throw little. Second of all, I just remember that a few minutes ago. It is against an act. There's an act in law. The non. Now, basically, you have to put a hand on somebody to be prosecuted. The non-fatal offences against the Person Act. Would you build a house? No. I have no intention of building any house or anything. See, it'd be different if it was like other young people I know worry about getting paid and things like that. Just not bothered because I have no intention of doing really anything in my life. Apart from doing hard, working hard, and that's what I did. There's no intention of building, getting a house or anything like that. No intention of a car or anything like that. I have no intention. So So yeah, one more minute. So anything else? Quite literally anything else before we go, because this is literally the last minute. So yeah, I'd probably move send. It won't be tomorrow anyway, and it probably won't be the next day. But it'll probably be Friday. I post it. It probably won't be there on the weekend because obviously the post doesn't go weekends. As far as I know, maybe some places do. But yeah. Excuse me, my apologies. Would you do try? Well, we see what Calvin did when Calvin comes in. We see what's the story then, Mark. So yeah, talk to you all later. So appreciate it and bye.